of the really important things to master when you're first studying voice is your vowel shapes. So I want to talk to you about having a tall vowel shape. Even when you're using a shallow vowel sound, we have to be able to make shallow vowel sounds because they're part of our language, every language. But when we're singing, we still need to have the vowels be as tall as they can be and have as much space as they can, even when the vowel is shallow. So the most shallow vowels are oo and e in English, and those are the two I was wanting to talk about with you. But everybody has a hard time with those two. So it's not, nothing personal. But so for every vowel, I want the back of your mouth to sort of stay the same. And like these things I'm telling you are classical technique, but I feel that this is going to be useful like almost for any genre. So this is the way I like to teach vowels. And you will sometimes for certain genres want to change the shape that I'm saying, but like we're going to start with this. This is like, to me, a healthy, beautiful way of producing your vowels. So we want to think of having an oval shape at the core of every vowel we make, sort of like an egg shape, and we kind of want to make that shape in the back of our throat. And a fancy word for throat is pharynx, so the back of our pharynx back here. So if you yawn, you can feel, hopefully, some sensations in the back of your pharynx or the back of your throat. Like what sensations do you feel when you yawn?
Like open, like open? A lot of air, like going in there, like
what's creating
expanded?
Expanded? What's creating the openness and the expansion?
I guess the shape down here changes. Like
yeah, the shape changed. What did you do to change the shape?
Just open the jaw and like I think pull the little thing in. Like,
so one way of saying it is you stretched the tissues taut.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that is a desirable effect. So tightness is a word that, in voice lessons we almost always are wanting to avoid. And that's actually, I hear a tightness in your tone on your shallow vowels right now that I want to eliminate and replace with a more open sound. But it's, I think, important to notice you are stretching your tissues open, and so you will feel a tightness in the tissues in the back of your mouth. Like if you yawn, you can feel that stretched open feeling. It's like your tissues are more tight in your mucosal membrane than how they normally would be, like if you're just at rest. So it's important to label these sensations with adjectives so you can notice if you're experiencing those sensations at any given time or not. And if you're not, that you can know what to do to find what you need and how to get there and how to know if you've arrived or not. And this is like a long process to figure out. But that shape, that stretched open shape in the back, I want to be consistent for all the vowels. So the soft palate can go up, like when you're yawning, which means your uvula goes up. Have we talked about that a little bit?
Yes, I think so.
It goes up. It's hard to see with that flashlight. And the base of your tongue, which is right underneath here, directly underneath, we want to think of relaxing and releasing the base of your tongue. So sometimes I imagine like I have a tiny weighted blanket on the base of my tongue, or like a tiny sandbag, and my base of my tongue is just sinking down. So see if you can feel that sensation.
Just having it rest at the bottom.
Letting the base of your tongue sink down as far as you can. And at the same time, we want the tip of the tongue to be gently pressed against the roots of the lower teeth. So the tip of your tongue is touching both the roots of your lower teeth and the top of your gum line at the same time. And so your tongue will just move with your jaw. So because the tip is attached.
So what does that sound like?
It should sound more open. This is only for vowels. You have to move the tip of your tongue for consonants. But we're just talking about vowels right now. And so we want the base of the tongue and the soft palate lift, that stretched open feeling in the back, and then the tip of the tongue being down in the front. That we want to keep the same for like every vowel sound that we make. The middle part of the tongue and the lips and things will have to change to make you not sound like you have a speech impediment. But the openness in the back and the space in the front, we can keep for all of them. Another thing, oh, I almost forgot to say that we want to be true for all the vowels, is we want separation between your teeth. So your teeth should not be touching ever in life, really, unless you're chewing. But for any vowel, we want to have as much space between our teeth as we can and still sound like we're making the vowel sound we're going for. So the most open vowel, where it's easy to feel all of these things in place, is ah, which is the same as like a yawn shape. So we could practice that. Drop down, lift up. Ah, ah, ah. And that's how we want to inhale before we begin phonating or making sounds. So we make that shape. Let the air in like we're yawning the air in. Ah, ah. And so keep pretty much everything just like that, but now the only thing we're going to change is we will come into an oo shape. So hopefully the corners of our mouth, ah, ooh, don't change much. Our corners don't have to like go way out. We're going to think of going down to make space, not out. So we want to try to think of keeping the corners in, and we want our lips to look like the vowel sounds. Ooh, like round. Ooh. So the tip of the tongue is still pressed against the teeth. The base of the tongue is still relaxed. The soft palate goes up. Ooh. Ooh. And you can look to feel some vibrations like up in the bridge of your nose or in the roof of your mouth and your hard palate. Ooh. Ooh. Kind of like an owl hooting, or like the sound of like blowing over a Coke bottle. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Like a hooty sound. Ooh, 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 ooh. Go a little higher so you can feel that, like, yeah, like that, like the hooty vibration-y sort of sound. Ooh, 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 ooh. You could think of a puppy whining a little bit, like ooh, ooh, ooh. Do you hear the ringing sound in my? Uh-huh. Think of up here, really feeling a lot of tingling. Ooh, 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 ooh. And then the other vowel to think about, and you can just kind of like do that for a few minutes before you sing the exercises. And then once you're singing, try to find that really open space. Don't worry if it sounds weird this week, because we can fix anything that goes too far. I'd rather that you almost like go too far and we like bring it back in a little bit, because it's hard to find this. The other one is E, which is harder. E is the hardest vowel in my opinion. So we want a tall E, not E, but E, E, E. And so the middle of your tongue has to go up towards the roof of your mouth, or you won't sound, you'll sound like you're not saying E. But the tip can be down, the base can be down, the soft palate can be up. See how much space I have between my teeth compared to you? There, did you see your corners want to go out? Oh. Yeah, and do you hear how your tone quality, like when you listen back to this, notice how you, that was better. Notice how you have more of a diffused tone quality as opposed to my tone quality, which is more of a ringing tone, which I'm not saying like I don't have a perfect tone quality or whatever, and you don't sound terrible, but like you should be able to hear a difference. We're going for that ringing sound. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Like the sound of like a ringing bell, or like we want to go for that sound. So oh, but see, now your shape is getting a little lazy. Uh-huh. And really think about up here, like feeling like vibrations. Like try to make yourself feel vibrations up in here. And it doesn't really matter like how it sounds, you're just noticing how it sounds. And when you hear the ringing sound, that is moving in the right direction. Uh-huh. Look at your mouth in the mirror or a camera while you're doing it, because you can't trust your yes. Did you hear? Except a softer onset. Don't spank the note at the beginning. I can feel like in my nose and in my hard palate, I feel these vibrations happening. Uh-huh. So just like take a little bit of time with the ooh and the e, and then do the exercise after, and we'll see what effect that has this week.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions about that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.